What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And guys, for today's video I have a set of very interesting news. First of all, I will show you an update in the RICO lawsuit that was filed by Scott Traudt. On top of that, I will show you some news from the Congress side, and I will show you the actions from MMTLP community in regards to this news. Then I will continue with an update from Mark Basile, and I have to say that he mentioned about quite interesting tip that might help us to push our case even further. On top of that, I will show you a very important and interesting due diligence of the recent actions from authorities. And before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. And let's start with this tweet that was written by Scott Traudt just several hours ago. And he said, "Torpedoes away, this will be our first test as to whether we grow wings or we stay on the ground for a bit, grinding it out. I've asked for all stop on the various motions to put me in arbitration, Schwab, or dismiss the case, GTS and Rubinstein, and to head FINRA off at the pass, so to speak, as they said they were going to claim immunity, but they haven't yet. So I took them at their word, which I'm loath to do, as they said the U3 halt was due to a squirrel in a transformer, and their dog ate their thumb drives, and they offered to take all of us bowling, and despite not wanting to bowl, I was game. But I digress. The first major test for major questions, Biden, and appointments close right here, gang." And he added the link to his filing, and I have to say that I like his style of writing, but sometimes it might be a bit confusing. And let me show you a quite good summary that was written by Junk Savvy. In response to Scott Traudt's tweet, she wrote the following: "Motion to hold all motions to dismiss and motions for arbitration in abeyance filed in Traudt versus R. Rubinstein, GTS Securities, Charles Schwab, and FINRA defendants. Plaintiff Scott Traudt respectfully moves this court to hold all pending and alerted motion to dismiss and the motion for a stay in favor of arbitration in abeyance until the court resolves critical threshold issues regarding whether defendant Financial Industry Regulatory Authority possesses immunity or is even legally qualified to act as a self-regulatory organization in light of recent Supreme Court decisions." Traudt further requests that the court first address Traudt's multiple motions for injunctive relief. And guys, I have to say that it is quite unexpected step, but it might also be very important for us. And definitely, it might be crucial if we have proper results for this motion. On top of that, guys, take a look right here. Dr. E, in response to Scott, wrote this: "Broker in the box exception. It's where the fraud is, I was told by a market expert. The MJ of stock market experts. Makes anyone else look like Mickey the Dunce. Keep on doing your thing." And Scott wrote this: "Explain a bit more. I'm going down 3 rabbit holes at the moment, and Junk Savvy and her crew are down about 28 from what I can tell." And guys, this is quite interesting information, 28 rabbit holes, which are elaborated by Junk Savvy and her crew. So he also added, "Run your red line down and explain it in terms we can understand. Let me go full Socratic method here. 1. What boxes and what authority are they under? 2. What do the boxes have for financial authority behind them? 3. Are the boxes universal throughout the client agreements? 4. Do the boxes differ from state to state so that rules of evidence or discoverability may be different? 5. If the fraud is hidden there, what is the inceptor of the fraud from a personal standpoint? What are the taken markers on a Bloomberg HSHR trading system that could be recovered to show a fraudulent transaction? And 6. Is the fraud active via an algorithmic system or simple AI? or active intervention from humans. And yes, I think Scott is basically, he's on fire right now. He is working hard. And guys, let me show you quite interesting response of Scott in regards to another question. So somewhere here, Daniel Spears wrote, "Thank you, Scott. Your actions are very important and appreciated. I too want to take legal action, but I have no legal background or education. That little hitch has paralyzed me and likely many others. We've got less than 3 months before the statute of limitations is up. What can we do to at least put our foot in the legal doorway before D-Day? Any suggestions?" And Scott wrote this amazing tweet. "You have 3 months to learn litigation. Do your homework, study, read cases, go to US District Court, pull cases, take an online paralegal course, read the Traudt, Hoffman, Towel, Park, Hensley, Horsani, intercoastal cases to see what worked and what didn't. Form a team, learn to use AI research tools, dive in, be fearless, take risks, be dangerous." And guys, I think this is an amazing advice, because it is a roadmap that Scott Traudt achieved in his case. And definitely, nothing is impossible, guys. Nothing is impossible. We can achieve everything if we work properly. On top of that, guys, let's take a look on another tweet that was published by Junk Savvy in regards to the Pete Session tweet. And Pete Session 17 hours ago wrote this: "The Biden-Harris administration allowed nearly $200 billion to be stolen from American taxpayers in their pandemic spending spree. Chairman Comer and I detail key findings and takeaways in this staff report." And Junk wrote this: $200 billion. Where is the outrage for the $200+ billion stolen from MMTLP investors, Pete Sessions? And that is from just 2 brokers. There are 105 broker-dealers with the DTCC allotments in MMTLP. 105. And that doesn't include broker-dealers holding 100% counterfeit positions. The morning of December the 9th of 2022, there were executed trades. Verified prints later cancelled at $1,200 and more. Do you like math, Pete? Why don't you get the share count and do some math? Maybe then you will understand why we are not going away. And guys, I can understand that a lot of community members are angry because of Pete Sessions and Ralph Norman's actions. And to be honest, I would say it is not the unexpected result of the actions, because politicians are quite tricky people in general, and they have to say what the constituents wants to hear only right before the election. And depending on the conditions, depending on the circumstances, they can easily change their minds, especially if they have some cash flows from the wrongdoers. And unfortunately, it is not an illegal actions in the United States of America, but it is 100% illegal in the majority of other countries. And guys, take a look right here. Let me show you this tweet that was published by Meta News, and the most important part right here is the response of Mark Basile. First of all, Meta News wrote, "It's very unfortunate, but many community members and constituents have came to a conclusion that Representative Ralph Norman's office is now against the MMTLP community. The amount of hours and effort each community member contributed to Representative Norman needs to be redirected to other representatives or other solutions to help with our ask. What is the share count? This letter is 100% an opinion and no way, shape or form an official letter. Each community member can come up with their own decisions and opinions." And here is the letter itself. I don't want to dive deep in it. I just want to show you the answer of Mark Basile. And Mark wrote this: "Well, now that you realize that this is a dead path, Congress, there are 2 major lawsuits to get behind, Scott's and Anna's. The judges in those cases need to understand the big picture which the community can share. Forget the SEC action for a minute. It's legally unrelated and irrelevant to the regulators and brokers' conduct, who are the ones that should be investigated and possibly prosecuted. Stop going down rabbit holes. No one is listening, and you will just confuse the issues more. Highly recommend amicus briefing in both cases. This way the judges can really understand the financial impact on you. And guys, you know that almost everyone can be added to the lawsuit as an amicus brief, and if you don't know how to do it, please contact your local lawyer and ask him to help you, because it doesn't cost a lot of money, but it will give more credibility. If I use the right word, it will give more credibility to the case itself, and the judge in this case might understand the scale of this impact. So I have to say that it's quite interesting advice, and I think we have to use it as a part of our actions. On top of that, guys, Dennis Neal wrote this tweet in response to MA22X tweet, and I covered it basically yesterday. And the most important part again is the response of Mark Basile. So, and let me quote first of all Dennis' tweet. The injury to retail came from conflicted self-appointed regulators slapping an emergency halt on MMTLP 4 days before a public deadline. To blame execs for promoting the stock is a diversion. No losses if no halt was issued. If investors lost money on exec hype, that's on them. And guys, you know that Ralph Norman and Pete Sessions became quiet right after the SEC charged George Palikaros, John Burda and MMAT because of their potential pump and dump actions in regards to MMAT, MMTLP and TRCH. But take a look right here. Mark, from his legal perspective, wrote this tweet. Blaming the former executives for what happened to MMTLP is a misdirection and completely legally irrelevant. FINRA could only stop trading based on its brokers' conduct, which they claim hit their fraud desk, as expressed in an email to the SEC. And guys, I told you multiple times that these cases are completely separate. We have to differentiate the actions that were performed by the C-level executives in regards to the price action back in the days in TRCH or MMTLP ticker symbol. And the second part, the crucial part, because of which a lot of people are stuck in this case, it is the implementation of illegal U3 halt. And we have to push our case forward to resolve the U3 halt problem. Then you can address to another case if it is still active. So, and let me show you quite interesting update about John Burda and George Palikaros case. Again, we have a perfect due diligence that was made by Rare DD, and he wrote this. This was coordinated. The Fort Worth SEC knew they were going to charge John Burda and George Palikaros. It seems that they held off on the Wells notice to allow the S1 to be approved and to allow the corporate action to proceed beyond the fraudulent 6490 review. By incorporating a built-in reason to halt trading, and by deleting the symbol to prevent settlement, the SEC and FINRA seemingly worked together to both protect short sellers and to prevent the public from seeing their inability and or complicity in allowing counterfeiting to take place in the market. Why else wouldn't they have already conducted an audit? It would either prove or disprove all speculation. Why hasn't the SEC called FINRA out yet for the multitude of rules they broke? And he added this. The key to understanding exactly what happened might be in what the SEC communicated to FINRA Sam Dredy when he sought coordinate efforts. They had a Zoom call on December the 5th of 2022, shortly after Dredy began to blue sheet MMAT and MMTLP. Then, on December the 6th, the next day, the first corporate action was posted with the incorrect dates, a built-in reason to U3 halt trading. The DTCC likely told them to make changes. FINRA made changes, but not the correct changes, and once they halted trading, their plan was to delete the trading symbol to prevent the possibility of settlement rather than to just adjust the dates. The FAQs were supposed to silence the community, but they were incredibly flawed. When the community began to get support from Congress, the Fort Worth SEC played their Trump card, which was filing charges in an attempt to switch the narrative. All this effort, but still no share count. Why? How can FINRA claim a small amount of short interest when NextBridge hydrocarbons know they've been solicited for significantly higher number of shares? And he added this part. Further evidence that supports this theory is that the SEC, presumably Fort Worth SEC, was in contact with FINRA's corporate actions team on either December the 2nd or earlier. Why do you think the SEC contacted them about MMTLP corporate action? To ensure they didn't mess up the dates. And guys, I have to say that RareDD again showed extremely interesting details, and he can easily find out a lot of coincidence, so-called coincidence, in the current documents. And this type of documents and this type of facts might be used in our litigations, and definitely this might lead to some kind of resolution. And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Basile Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you.